What's up, guys? It's Callus here with a live narration for Callus Invitational 4 Round 1 between UD and Fakes. This is a real good one. These guys are both SPL or were SPL ADV starters for a number of years. They definitely know each other. They've played against each other at least in SPL before. I believe in UD's debut season, but perhaps even more than once in SPL. Callus Invitational, they've both been fairly successful. UD being more successful. He did make money in the original Callus Invitational tournament with a third place finish. Fakes has been deep a couple of times, but he has not yet made money. He claims that he has not taken ADV all that seriously since the first Callus Invitational, but supposedly he has been practicing, has been testing, and is remotivated. And if that is the case, which I have to be a little skeptical because it's Fakes, but if that is the case, a giving a shit, practicing Fakes is about as dangerous as it gets in ADV. One of the all-time great talents in the tier, even though he's not one of the all-time great motivated players. So UD had a lead Celebi. Universally, that's going to be some kind of baton passer. Whether or not it's trying to pass substitute, whether it's just trying to pass to trappers, maybe even double trapper, could be passing combine, swords dance, all sorts of stuff. He didn't BP out on the first turn, though. He simply got out of the way. There was a lead meta for Fakes. He has some kind of spike stacks team, not in the traditional sense with Skarm. He's got a cloister. And UD, less clear. It might be a trapper or a double trapper. There's certainly going to be a mag there for UD, given what we've seen. So it's actually interesting because it already looks like a weird matchup for UD. There's absolutely going to be a Magneton, given the Celebi, the Coon, and the Lax. And obviously Magneton not ideal against the Cloister team. The thing that you're really trying to trap is, of course, Skarmory. So Cloister generally lines up well against mag teams. This has got to be pretty offensive for Fakes. I mean, you would think both the meta and the Cloister have Boom. There's probably a Gengar in the back, not only to protect the spikes, but also to be another Boom Pokemon and have another offensive threat. So I would think that the last pokes for Fakes are a Gar, a T-Tar, and X. X could be a couple of things. It could be a proper bulky water. It could just be another offensive poke, an arrow, an off star, whatever it may be. It's interesting. I don't know that I love UD's matchup here. That's certainly a really good explosion, negating both the boosts that the Lax got. Double Curse is generally really safe and really sturdy. That is obviously a CB meta to kill him from 100% with explosion there. Non-choice bin would not have been enough. And it's now going to be on UD with what to do. But I think Fakes has a better matchup here. And I think Fakes has an advantage so far in this game, having the spikes down and taking out what is probably one of UD's win conditions. If this is like a double trapper into Coon and Lax, then one of the win conditions for UD is already down. That might not be the case. There's certainly going to be a mag. That's a guarantee. I don't know that it's going to be double trapper. There might not be a Dugtrio, so this could be basically like a Magneton offensive sorts. It could be like a Salamence and say a Metagross in the back, or Salamence Meta, T-Tar, some kind of combination of those pokes. Magneton plus 2 physical threats, basically, could be what we're looking at here. Faster Celebi went for Giga Drain here, connected for heavy damage, of course, on Cloister, with its awful special defense. A lot of Cloisters these days do run very heavy speed. This one may have. We don't know how fast the Celebi is. But going to get out of the way after spiking up, would not survive what would have been any attack there, a Giga Drain, a Psychic, whatever. Turns out it's just Leech Seed, and Jolteon going to go for Roar. That's going to bring out Porygon 2, which is not what I thought we were going to see. So it's Porygon 2 and Mag. Porygon 2 would indicate, obviously, a bunch of Doug weaknesses, so the last poke has to be something else that gives a shit about Dugtrio. Protecting your Mag and protecting your Celebi is absolutely not enough to warrant the inclusion of Porygon 2. So the last poke has to be either T-Tar or Metagross, or I guess Jirachi. Actually, Jirachi makes more sense now that I think about it. There's no Rock Resist for UD, so it's got to be Rock Resist. It's going to rule out T-Tar, and Magneton doesn't count as a proper Rock Resist. So the last poke, I think, is going to be Jirachi for UD. That would be my logical deduction. It could be Metagross. That seems a little bit loose. But Jirachi is more sturdy, and it has Wish. So that makes sense to me. So I think we're looking at kind of a combine spam team. This actually may not be a baton pass Celebi. This might be, I mean, it still could be. It could be a combine passer. I could see combine Giga Drain, Leech Seed BP. We're not going to get to see anything here because there was a Gengar in the back from Fakes like we discussed, and it does have Boom on this hyper offense team here. Now, Jolteon, if it has HP Ice, would be very good here. There does not seem to be a great switch. Now, Porygon 2, of course, can trace Volt Absorb and be very safe from the general things that Jolteon wants to do. It obviously doesn't absorb the Hidden Power or potential T-Wave or Toxic or whatever, but it's safe from the Thunderbolt, which would be the key thing. Tyranitar. Okay, so very predictable team as a whole for Fakes, and a solid archetype here. This Tar is not going to be... It's not going to randomly be special, I would think. Not enough things care if it is special. I think we're probably looking at a DD Tar. The only thing the special would really benefit, I guess, is like clearing out Gengar for purposes of Swampert, which is kind of who cares. I don't want to miss that. So he didn't go for the HP Bug, which he may or may not have had. And the Celebi survives, doesn't get flinched, gets the Giga Drain off. So Crisis averted there on what could have been a DD-Tar sweep. And that's really interesting. It actually was HP Ice Jolt the whole time. So that makes it even worse. You've got to wonder why he didn't do that in the first place. I don't know why he went to the T-Tar. I guess he really thought he was going to scare the Celebi out. So he was playing the mind game of, man, if you stay in with Celebi, I'm going to set up and sweep your ass. I'm going to get 2 DDs off. You're going to be dead. But UD simply stayed in. He just wasn't afraid. He stayed in, clicked Giga Drain a couple of times, and T-Tar died for more or less nothing, which is a pretty big step back. Now, granted, with the 100% Coon, and to a lesser extent with the Porygon also at 100%, maybe the T-Tar was never really going to sweep without getting some luck. UD is in a pretty good position against a Tyranitar here, and there is the Jirachi that we knew that he was going to have. I'm really second-guessing if the last poke is even Mag, really, because this could be... We don't actually know what the Lax was. This could be a self-destruct Lax. It could be Curse plus Boom trying to bait out Skarmory, and it could easily just be a special attacker. It could easily just be a Raikou in the back, for example, another Combine Pokemon. Mag is the obvious thing, but it doesn't necessarily have to be at this point anymore, and we're not going to find out here either. Jolteon lives to get the roar off, does die to the sand, and Fakes is in some big trouble. I don't know they're actually going to see the final poke for UD. The play that really sticks out to me for Fakes, even though I do like his team, is the Tyranitar sequence. If the Jolteon couldn't pressure the Celebi out, like if it were just HP Grass, for example, then I get why you go to T-Tar there, because you don't have other good options. But the fact that the Jolteon did, in fact, have HP Ice, I don't get why you wouldn't go for it. The Celebi was so low at the time. If you just go HP Ice there, I mean, you're either going to kill it or force it out. When it comes back in, it's going to be on its deathbed due to the spikes, and that's pretty much that. But as it stands, this one is a one-sided affair. It's going to be all UD, not super close, not even 20 turns. UD doesn't even show his last poke. Fakes is going to get walked over in this one, and he is going to have to bring it back and take UD seriously, or he is going to be in that lower bracket in a matter of 10 minutes. Gonna wait on game 2 and do this all in one video, I think, to avoid spoilers. Maybe not. Nope, I changed my mind. We're gonna break it up into separate videos because I don't know how long it's gonna be in between games. I'll see you guys in game 2.